So next up is something that I'm honestly really confused as to why they didn't do this. When Smash 4 was being revealed, and they announced that the Omega form mode of every stage was coming, I was actually, pretty interested. It takes away stage hazards, it takes away all the extra platforms and whatnot. It makes scrolling stages not scrolling, and you're fighting every single stage as Final Destination. Actually makes you want to play on certain stages like Pac-Land and other stages that generally you don't want to play on. You at least can enjoy them in some capacity. You can at least enjoy the background. But something I kind of wish they had done, like I'm fine with having the Omega form. Something I wish they had done on top of that is also what I'm going to call an alpha mode, where you just get rid of stage hazards. You get maybe it can't even be used on the auto scrolling levels. That'd be fine. You get rid of stage hazards, you get rid of items and whatnot. It's just the stage itself, and there would actually be plenty of stages that will be perfectly viable if this wasn't a thing. If this was a thing, if the stage hazards weren't there. Take for instance Midgar, the stage that came with Cloud. That's just a battlefield, but then right in the middle, like while you're battling those deities or whatever, like do crazy stuff to the stage, so you can't. I never want to fight there. Um, the one where Ridley's at, that Metroid stage where Ridley is at, that would actually be a pretty good, actually a really good stage. Just not when Ridley is there. When Ridley shows up, I don't want to fight there anymore. It just adds too much to the fight when I just want to have a one-on-one battle. If I want to have Ridley there, I can, but I'd rather just have it be just the 4 platforms. And the weird thing is, they actually have something similar to this with 8-player mode, where you can play on that Ridley stage and not have Ridley there. It's just those 4 platforms, and that's it. It's actually a pretty decent battle arena when Ridley's not present. Same thing with Midgar. Same thing with plenty of others I can't really think of right now. Like I said, maybe it's just not a thing that you could use on the auto scrolling levels, but you still have the Omega form for those, so you can at least still enjoy those in some capacity. So just getting rid of random spikes, getting rid of also of Magic Hand in the 3DS version. That's a pretty good stage. If it wasn't for that little like yellow man that like always tried to beat you up, just if you got rid of little things like that, this game would just be just that much more entertaining. So yeah, having something like that would just make the entire experience even better. So, going along with stages, I'm going to talk about some stages that I want to come back and also some new stages. Start with returning stages. One of me and my brother's favorite stages from Melee and Brawl was Green Greens. Now, I know we got a Green Greens stage in for DLC in Smash Wii U, but it's just not the one I want. Like, I like that stage fine. It's just Battlefield with Wispy Woods kind of blowing it. Also, I think it's a lot smaller than Battlefield. So that's fine. But Green Greens, just that kind of wide stage with those bombs, just those 3 different areas to fight on. Wispy Woods is still, of course, blowing at you. I don't know, it's just a very jolly stage to fight on. And if you took out the stage hazards, it would actually be, again, a pretty decent stage to fight on. You can still have those blocks, of course, but they don't necessarily blow up. And you can still have a relatively competitive match there. The bomb just make it even that much more interesting. So yeah, I don't know why they didn't bring that one back. A lot of the Melee stages that were brought back in Brawl, that they just really weren't really brought back in Smash 4, and it was just really weird. I don't really know why. I was honestly really, really disappointed that Green specifically wasn't in there. And I was also really disappointed that Peach's Castle didn't show back up. That was probably my second or third favorite stage to fight on in Melee. Just something about I don't know, just maybe it was the music, maybe just the way it was laid out, those like buttons you can press that just changed certain things. You know, it's just another really jolly stage to fight on that I would love to return to. And again, we got a Peach's Castle for DLC in Smash 4, but it was the N64 one. And like I said, that's not a bad stage, but just the way it's laid out, it's just really confusing. It looks not really finished. Which is honestly how a lot of the N64 stages work. Like they look like that. So I don't know why they picked the one that looks like that the most. And like both of these stages, like I get it, they're classics from the N64, but like there's a superior version, in my opinion, of both Green Greens and Peach's Castle that they could have brought but just didn't. Yet they decided to bring the one from the N64 version. And it's not unprecedented for them to have two stages that are named the same. They have two Mario Circuit stages in Wii U version. The one from Brawl and then the one from that's modeled after Mario Kart 8. So having two Peach's Castle and having two Green Greens wouldn't be out of the question. And last is probably the one I was confused about the most that didn't come back is Newport City. I get that Mother 3 hasn't come out in the West yet, but it still brought back Lucas. I don't know why they didn't bring back Lucas and then also have Newport City with him. They did that with almost every other character, so why not him as well, but whatever. Newport City, I feel that would have been the perfect stage to utilize 8-player Smash on. It was probably the biggest stage in Smash Bros. Brawl. And to have that just not come back when you have this new mode that utilizes 8 players and can go anywhere you want on that giant stage, it just didn't. I just don't really know why they did decide to not bring that back. Yeah, at the same time, Onet, whatever, that other Earthbound stage, you can do 8-player Smash on, and that is the crampiest, sure, thing I have ever experienced. Like all 8 players just in that little section between buildings. That stage was not meant for 8 players. So having Newport City not there, but then have Onet, I'm going to call it Onet be available for 8 players just seemed like a weird slap in the face to people who wanted to play on Earthbound stages. And especially when Onet is the only Earthbound stage on the Wii U version. Granted, there is a new Earthbound stage on the 3DS, but that's on the 3DS is not available on Wii U, which they could easily, remedy with what I said earlier about having all the content in one game. But still, just bring back Newport City and let people finally play 8-player Smash on that mode. Because I honestly really liked that stage. I just felt it was a bit too big. It's kind of a similar, I'm not gonna say issue, but the same thing with Palutena's Temple. Like, I like that stage. I only really like using it for 8-player Smashes, or like multiplayer Smashes. So that's all the returning stages I personally want. There might be a few others. Like, there are definitely more that, like, if they came back, I wouldn't be disappointed. But if those are the 3 in particular that I really want to come back. So as far as new stages go, just like with the characters from this game, I feel it would be a shame if we didn't get a Great Plateau stage from one model off of Breath of the Wild. Or maybe not even Great Plateau. Maybe it's just kind of like the Skyward Sword stage, where it takes you to different areas of this world. You could very easily do that, and of course, you take to one place where it's kind of like the Resurrection Chamber. You take to another place, and there's a guardian in the background that kind of shoots at you. There's so many different ways you could go about this that I feel would make a some kind of stage based on either Great Plateau or based on something from Breath of the Wild, I feel like that would make perfect sense. Next is I feel is a given, some kind of Splatoon stage. Um, of course, we already know that Inklings are gonna be in the next Smash game, so having a new Splatoon uh, Splatoon themed stage is not at all out of the question. It's almost like given at this point. That music that played during the reveal trailer is surely going to be in that uh, in that stage. And especially considering how they use music from the first Splatoon game in that reveal trailer, and that trailer was modeled so closely after the initial Splatoon 1 reveal trailer, I feel it makes perfect sense for them to model the Smash stage off of Splatoon 1 stages. And that's why I feel the most likely would be Walleye Warehouse. I believe that was the stage that was showcased during the initial Splatfest, not Splatfest, uh, Test Splat. That might be what it was called. Yeah, Test Splat. I think that demo had Walleye Warehouse and I think a Port Mackerel maybe. So one of those two I feel makes the most sense. Also, I think Walleye Warehouse was showcased the most in that initial Splatoon trailer. I don't really know exactly how it would work. I'm sure there would be some kind of mechanic in the background of there being ink on the ground and if you walk over it, you might get slowed down or something. And I don't know. They could easily make it work. So having some kind of Splatoon stage, I feel is a given at this point. And last but not least, New Donk City stage or some kind of stage for Mario Odyssey. I just like Breath of the Wild, I feel this game deserves some kind of representation. It is right now the highest selling game on the Switch. It is going to continue to sell gangbusters. It was my personal game of the year 2017. And New Donk City just seems to be it was the stage, it was the level that they officially debuted Mario Odyssey with. It's the level that showcases Jump Up Superstar. It just seems to be the focal point of this game. It seems to be the focal point of the marketing. Their entire E3 booth 2017 was focused on New Donk City. So not having a New Donk City stage, or at least something from Mario Odyssey, would be a shame. And again, it could kind of be like Breath of the Wild type stage, riding the Odyssey to different parts of New Donk City, or maybe even you're riding the Odyssey to different parts of Mario Odyssey. There's a stage for the Lost Kingdom. There's a stage for Cascade Kingdom, the Desert Kingdom. Just pick 4 or 5 different kingdoms to go to and just have the Odyssey take you there. Or honestly, like I said, you could easily just have a New Donk City style of stage solely based on New Donk City. In the 3DS version, they had one solely on Lumio City from X and Y. So it's not out of the question to have an entire stage based on one big city. Like I said, they did it before in the 3DS version. So yeah, that I feel like of the 3 I just mentioned, that's probably the least likely, considering it's the game that came out closest to the release of Super Smash Bros. For the Switch, and it's probably been in development for the least amount of time. Because, like I said, they're basing in my opinion, they're going to be basing the Splatoon stage on the one that came out in 2015, not the newest one. And Breath of the Wild has been in development forever. So, Mario Odyssey had probably been in development since late 2015, so there's a chance that there's a large chance that there will be a Mario Odyssey type stage, but it's probably just the least likely of the 3. So yeah, Um, what do you guys think? What are some things that you guys want in the next Smash game? Do you guys think it'll be a port of Smash Wii U and 3DS, or do you think it'll be a brand new game? Is there anything I missed? I listed here that you don't want. Are there any characters that I listed that you don't want? Or are there any that I missed that you want? So yeah, leave thoughts and all that down below. I'd like to have a discussion going, and I'll see you.